Good morning, friends and family, once again to another edition of Coffee Conversations with Stephan. Koffie Klets met Stephan. And it's good to spend some time with you this morning. Grab a cup of coffee when you're listening to this and relax. And I pray that this little message will bless you this morning. So a few years back, I actually read this really interesting little quote. And I'm going to read it to you quickly. Considering that most combat fatalities come from head wounds, the helmet has been the single most precious piece of armor for pretty much every warrior in history. And that doesn't exclude the Vikings. I was reading about Vikings and Viking armor and things like that. And it was interesting that they said that most combat fatalities came from head wounds. Therefore, most armies prescribed that their soldiers would wear a helmet. And interesting enough, we see in the Bible that God prescribes that we wear a helmet. In Ephesians chapter 6, verse 17, it says that take the helmet of salvation. The Afrikaans Bible says this, Ephesians 6 vers 17, sit verlossing as helm op. Verlossing, salvation. So, I want to tell you that Satan has got a two-edged sword. The Bible says that the word is a two-edged sword, cutting. But I think Satan has also got a two-edged sword that wants to literally give fatal blows to your head. So if anybody received a fatal blow to their head, you're over. And I think so many people right now in the world is taking fatal blows because you can imagine your head and the helmet that's on it, it's protecting your brain, your mind, and the things that's going on there. And a lot of the attacks right now is happening in our minds. The Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So the heart is not just this thing in your chest. It's the way that we think. Our thinking is attacked. The Bible says clearly in the New Testament to us that we need to take every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. Philippians tells us, think on these things. In other words, we need to constantly protect our thinking. So I think that Satan has got a broadsword that he wants to take fatal blows to our minds. And the one side of that sword is fear. It's fear in the way of discouragement. Oh, you lost your job. Man, you've given so much and you got nothing in return. You've spent so much time. You've done all of these things. And Satan wants to come and intimidate through fear and discouragement this morning. He wants to come and give you a fatal blow, but the helmet of salvation reminds you what Jesus saved you out of and saved you into. You need to remind Satan this morning what his future looks like. You've read the end of the book maybe, and you understand that Jesus wins. As a Christian, keep on keeping on, but you need to wear the helmet of salvation every single day. And I think the other side of that sword that he wants to come. So the one side I would say is fear in the form of discouragement. And the other one is doubt. And right now, maybe you're doubting, like, how do I know that I'm a Christian? Am I sure that I'm saved? I certainly don't deserve to be saved. I certainly don't deserve to be, loved like this. Last week we looked at the good father and you might go, but I don't know why the good father would even love me. Do you think, sometimes he will ask you this question. Do you think that's what a Christian would do? Maybe you've done something and he comes and he brings doubt in there. Many people, I want to say, suffer from doubt and fear and discouragement. Many people right now. And I want to encourage you this morning to put on the helmet of salvation. Die helm van verlossing. to understand. And maybe tomorrow and then this week, we will look at what it looks like. What is salvation? I want to tell you there's other helmets that you can put on. A worldly way of thinking and a fleshly way of thinking. And we'll look at those things tomorrow. But I want to encourage you with Ephesians 6 verse 17 today. Put on the helmet of salvation. The battle is fierce and Satan is coming at you from all directions, and he would like to penetrate that helmet. But you need to remind him that Jesus saved you. Jesus came to seek and save the lost. And I want to encourage you with that this morning. Bless you, and hope to see you soon somewhere.